What are you doing in my hallway?
I'm
What are you doing in my hallway?
I'm just going to the next.
You're going where?
I'm going to the next class.
I don't want to hear it.
But it's in 2B. I'm going to be
2B?
late.
You're not going anywhere. You're on my time.
It's 2:50. Now. Hello all, and welcome to another episode of TerraTalk, or I guess this one's more like a TerraRant again, because it's a topic about bullying. Yeah, bullying. I'm not going to go full on dare or whatever with you guys or anything like that, but I'll talk briefly about the topic because it's something I think about every once in a while, and I feel like it affects the way people act and their personalities as they grow up in life. They seem like they become completely different people. And so because of that aspect, I'll talk a little bit about it. So yeah, bullying, obviously I'm not for it. I think it's incredibly idiotic and stupid. I'm sorry, I'll be blunt, it's true. It's really stupid and idiotic to go around pushing people around for whatever reason. I don't care if you're like having a hard time at school, you're having a hard time at home, whatever your personal problems is. Yes, I would be bullied for saying that. Whatever your problems are, it's not fair to just go up to somebody, no matter what the case is, and just push them around and all that junk. Honestly, kind of ticks me off, because those people potentially grow up to possibly become people that they weren't meant to be. Because now they become shy, they become possibly more timid, and it's just not fair to them. Everyone deserves a chance. That's how I feel. That's how I personally feel. If you don't agree with me, go away. I'm kidding. Anyway. But that's how I feel about it. But then again, who supports bullying? Who supports bullying aside from the bullies themselves? Let's be honest here. And that's part of the reason I'm being open about this topic, because I know a lot of people are going to come in and be like, oh yeah, bullying sucks, it's stupid, why do people pushing each other around, pushing, name calling, I don't care what form it takes, it's idiotic. I will be flat out honest with you on this. And yes, I've had minor cases of this in the past. People used to call me a random stupid name that I didn't like, and it made me really mad, and it turned me into a bitter person. No, I'm kidding, it didn't. It affected me somewhat though. I feel like certain personality quirks probably wouldn't have been there in my life if certain things didn't happen in the past. If some, stupid kids didn't come up to me and start doing this dumb thing, and some of the friends as well that I've had over the years have had issues with it too, and I feel like it's affected them as well. Unfortunately, I don't think it's anything that's going to just magically go away. Some people are going to get involved in that sort of thing, and then there's just either they get themselves out of it or they just don't. So that's the unfortunate truth of it. But I felt like I wanted to come out and talk about this a bit. And don't worry, that little skit earlier, him pushing me on the ground and stuff, just in case you want to go around calling Ianthus a bully or whatever. No, he's a good friend of mine. He's been in a few skits before. Just want to throw that disclaimer out there real quick. He's a good guy. It was actually my idea to get pushed on the ground. I can take a fall, no problem. I used to fall for fun on the floor. And I do the flop!
Goodness, do you see this?
Unfortunately.
But anyway, back to bullying. I really do feel, I keep repeating myself about this, but I really feel that it affects people in the long run. The bullies may be like, yeah, I used to be a jerkwad back then or whatever, for lack of better words, and then they'll grow up and forget entirely about it. And then they'll completely forget about it, like I said before. But if that was a stupid thing that happened back then involving a melee strategy guide. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's a really funny story. Maybe I'll tell it someday. Not using names or anything. Anyway, as I was saying, the bullies, well, they'll act like jerkwads back then when they're younger, and then they'll grow up and forget about it. Like, that seems to be typically how it happens. I don't know. And then you have the victims that were bullied, whether it's physical harassment, verbal harassment, whatever. they'll grow up, and I feel like some of them may get over it. I'm not gonna just automatically say, oh, every single, victim is gonna be like, oh, I'm automatically gonna turn into some big whatever person that I was supposed to be. Not everybody. Some, yes. Others, no. So I won't generalize. Because I know that's not actually the case in life. It's not just black and white on the earth. It's all kinds of shades of gray, as they say. Still, for those people that do feel like it affected their personality and things like that, it's very unfair. But hopefully, those past victims can one day find good friends that will replace what's happened in their past. It seems like, I don't know, once again, I'm not going to overgeneralize it or anything, but it seems like the reason bullies do bully things, as I may have mentioned before, could be problems with their situation at home, problems with school. They'll take out their issues on other people, but I still believe that that's not fair to do that. They should be talking to an adult to seek help. Or maybe even another kid if they're mature enough. Like, just talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Maybe they can help you. Because taking it out on somebody else is just adding more fuel to the fire. Let's be honest here. And if you're on the victim side and you're just trying to get over it, like people harassing you or pushing you around and stuff, talk to somebody also. You also talk to somebody. Let a higher figure in the school or something find out what's happening, and hopefully something can be resolved. And while you're in the heat of the action, just look forward to going back home and getting lost in little activities that you find fun. I would go and draw and play video games and forget about the troubles that I had in school. So just seek comfort in that. And it may be a rough storm to bear. Sometimes life is all about bearing this giant storm, and it feels like there's never going to be an end. But trust me, keep fighting through it, and eventually you will find an end. And that also applies to bullying. So if you are getting harassed by somebody, eventually the school year will come to an end, and you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just make sure that bully cannot follow up on it, obviously, so you have a nice fun summer away from that person. Also, this time Draco would like to have a few words on this particular topic, so let's welcome her in, and she'll say a few things before we wrap up.
Oh. Yeah, hey, so Draco here. I would like to actually add something to this topic because I too was bullied when I was younger. Middle school, isn't that fun?
Middle school sucks.
Yeah, middle school sucks. So
the worst.
Anybody that goes through bullying, I actually have some pretty good advice I'd like to add to everything that he said. I actually really like how he mentioned like coping with bullying, like when you get home. And I have some advice for like the other side of it. So like when you're not at home and you're actually like in the midst of everything. One thing that I did to get over it, I was bullied by a number of people. A lot of people called me weird, shy, quiet. A lot of people thought I was weird because I was quiet. And that made me afraid to talk to people, made me afraid to make new friends because of it. And when people actually came to the surface and were pointing fingers at me, what I would do is I realized my reactions were making them smile. So I ignored everything that they did, and I was just like, eh. I looked completely uninterested in what they were doing. So if they were trying to tease me, I would just walk away. I pretend it didn't happen, and after a couple weeks of that happening, they stopped bullying me. Funny story about that. After I graduated high school, a couple of them came up to me and apologized for bullying when I was in college, and they admitted it was really stupid. So, bullies can actually grow up. They can realize that they did wrongdoings when they were younger. It's kind of a learning experience from both perspectives. And I just kind of wanted to add that to the episode for anybody that is going through it themselves, like a little tip for dealing with it. Because ultimately, they just want to make others feel worse than how they feel. And then they later realize, hey, I don't need to feel this way. I can get through this on my own. So what do you think of those?
Yep, I definitely agree with everything you said. It's just all about coping with it. If you have to talk to a higher figure, adult, something, even another friend who's willing to listen, do whatever you can to brave the storm, and eventually just know that it will come to an end sooner or later. But if you take action, not obviously like, knock the block off or whatever, that could probably just make things worse. But talk to an adult, talk to a friend if you can somehow get it resolved. Either that or just brave the storm, and the year will eventually end, and you'll have a nice summer away from them that you can enjoy. And eventually, life always gets better. Remember that. Life always gets better.
Sure does.
Regardless of whatever pain it is that you're going through. Anyway, guys, I guess that wraps up this episode of TerraTalk, or I guess it was TerraRant.
Oh.
Whatever. No, I guess not super rant.
Not that
Still,
bad.
just wanted to share a bit of my knowledge on the subject as well. Draco wanted to input as well, and just keep in mind. Hopefully, if you were watching this video and you are going through a situation like this, hopefully what we said today helps you get through it. Helps you get through that storm. Anyway, guys, that's a wrap. Stay tuned for more Terrazone content.